Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani has had his fifis hurt. Aw, how's that? By who? Fox News, apparently. So what happened? What happened? Apparently, Rudy Giuliani and some other senior aides to Donald Trump have been shadow banned from the network. So now this is according to a recent report in Politico. The former Trump lawyer and New York City mayor hasn't appeared on the conservative network for nearly 3 months, but has learned of the ban the night before September 11th, when his supposed scheduled appearance on Fox and Friends to mark the 20th anniversary was cut short, and was cut, and host Pete Hegseth had called him to apologize personally. Oh, gee, I wonder why he would be shadow banned. Oh, right, the enormous lawsuit from Dominion Voting Systems over the big lie. Now, again, they sued Fox News and Giuliani because he spread false claims about the 2020 election, and even admitted during a recently publicized 2018 FBI deposition that he had pushed lies about Hillary Clinton on the network ahead of the 2016 election. So this guy's a liar. It's almost as if he lies and lies and lies and then tells more lies about those lies, which is usually fine for Fox News, but in the one case, unless there is money involved, then, oh no, you got to be truthful and honest here because we run an honest network. Yes. Really now? Really? But hey, money is serious business, especially when you run a media business. So now, the reaction here is great. A source close to Giuliani told Politico, well, Rudy is really hurt because he did a big favor for Rupert. He was instrumental in getting Fox on Time Warner so it could be watched in New York City. I'm pretty sure they might have managed without him. But if that's the case, getting it into New York, well, that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing, getting it into that market, because the less we have of Fox News, generally the better things are. But that's just me. But I love Rudy's reaction here, or alleged reaction. Why would Fox News do this to me? How dare they when I helped out Rupert? Because it's all about the money. It's all about the money. The supposed ban, apparently, according to political sources, comes from the top and includes Giuliani's son, Andrew, who has not appeared on Fox News since launching his own gubernatorial campaign in New York, although his rival, GOP candidate Representative Lee Zeldin, has made frequent guest appearances. It's very interesting. Again, to me, that kind of looks like a bit of a shadow ban. That said, here's Fox News, a spokesperson, saying, oh, no, you know what? That's wrong. Fake news. Andrew Giuliani was actually on September 10th. And there is no ban on Rudy Giuliani, no outright ban. Okay, well, a shadow ban is, well, it's just that, right? It's banning somebody while not explicitly saying that you were banned. It's basically like, oh, yeah, no, sure, we'll bring you on one of these days. Yeah. And then just never asking them. Never scheduling them. Now, there's also Giuliani's former police commissioner, Bernie Carrick, who had pushed election conspiracies. He did actually go live once on September 11th on Jesse Waters' show. That said, Carrick also complained about this ban to Fox Business Network president Lauren Pedersen, saying, I could not have been more disappointed with the Fox coverage on the 20th anniversary of September 11th. That Carrick, who was convicted of tax fraud and lying to the White House officials, but had later been pardoned by Trump. Then they chose to intentionally ignore Mayor Giuliani, who, according to their own coverage for the last 2 decades, was America's hero on that day and in the aftermath of the attack. Regardless of reasoning, I think this was another demonstration of Fox's cowering to the far left. Far left. For one, okay, there's really no far left in America. Not one that has any sort of significant power at all. right? And look, I don't even consider progressives to be far left. What far left to me is people who are advocating for, I should say, seizing the means of production and instituting socialism. We don't have any of that in power. There are no far leftists in power or in media whatsoever. What we have in reality, at least in context to the rest of the world, are people who are center left, or just regular left. You know, people who do believe in universal health care insurance, along with the vast majority of Americans, and things like regulations on business, but are generally still capitalist. That's not far left. I'm just saying. But no, if you think the left, if you think liberal media actually cares if Giuliani is banned from Fox News, no. If anything, right? If anything, liberal media loves seeing Giuliani saying insane things. Why? Because we can make fun of him. The guy's a clown. He's a walking content farm. Nobody should be taking him seriously at all. But unfortunately, too many listen and actually, not just listen, but agree with all of the drunken rants from this washed up career politician. And it's just sad. It's so sad. Now, one more note. Other senior aides are also complaining and saying the same thing, that they've been shut out by Fox News. One ex-Trump aide said this, quote, "They're not doing us any favors." Well, that's because you're not relevant anymore. Not only that, but let me just give you another example. I've shown you different videos of Mike Lindell, Mike Pillow, and he's constantly complaining about Fox News now. I can't. Fox News, they wouldn't run my cyber symposium commercial. They wouldn't do it. Shame on you, Fox. Shame on you. In response to this, Lindell even pulled his ads off the network. And he goes on Newsmax and he complains on Steve Bannon's podcast about this the entire time, and then goes on and on about his election rants. And it's funny because they all seem to be going to places like Newsmax and OAN because, well, that's where the crazies are. The rest of the crazies. Honestly, here's the thing. If Fox News didn't have Tucker Carlson, who literally echoes white nationalist talking points and vaccine conspiracies, as well as Laura Ingraham, I think there would be a lot of people who would have quit the network. A lot of people, a lot of pro-Trumpers who would just have gone over to Newsmax and OAN and quit Fox News. So, I mean, it is possible, and I'm not sure, for certain, that Fox News might be on thinner ice than they believe, despite the fact that, of course, they get monster ratings and revenue, and so it's not like they're in financial trouble or anything like that. No. Fox News is here to stay, but I do think they realize that they have to walk a tight line here in order to protect themselves from the lawsuit, while also still pandering a little bit to the crazy in order to keep those viewers. And let me remind you, I believe about half of all Republicans, at least, still think that Joe Biden had cheated his way into the presidency, and that is a pretty large constituency. Which is why in an email to Raw Story, Fox News spokesperson denied that Giuliani was ever in talks for a September 11th appearance on Fox and Friends, and so denying that, oh no, he wasn't banned, he was just never scheduled. Okay, well, if you're not in the network for months and months and months, and you're not getting scheduled for anything, even though you want onto the network, doesn't that imply a shadow ban? Again, not a ban, explicitly, but a shadow ban. But he says, oh, no, fake news, never happened. Giuliani, not banned, just wasn't invited, ever, and we're not going to invite him, but he's not banned. Again, shadow ban. Now, it also sounds like, by the way, you can look at the other part, that Giuliani is just, doing this to try to boost his profile, again, hold on to a little bit of relevance now that he is no longer relevant or in the news cycle, and that's likely because he is broke and needs more people to spend money on his cameo. So either way, it is both sad and hilarious at the same time. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.